I'm Raven.
And I'm Faranir, and this is the podcast where we try to answer the question, can two creatives really break free from the 9-to-5 grind and find success in a more fulfilling creative life? God, I really wish I made that shorter.
You know,
Say that every time.
Can you remember the little intro on the Disney Channel? They used to have like the wand and they'd like do the shape of the Disney Channel logo as they talked. I always see that when you do that, like the little...
Brilliant. Oh dear. Episode 10. Episode 10. Can you believe we've done this 10 times now? Time flies when you're having fun.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Made it.
Very good. Big thanks.
It's quite a good milestone, isn't it?
It is, yeah, I'm really happy with that.
Yeah.
It's flown by.
Proud of us.
Me too. High five. Oh my god, that was
my ear off.
so it was so hard your ear fell off.
Whacked it off.
I can't wait to watch that back.
That's a good start.
Oh my god. Oh dear. Let's go. How are we doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. I'm doing better than I have been the past few weeks. It's been very, very nice to see that February has been our most successful.
Excuse me.
Successful month so far, and we've seen some pretty good growth, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely.
The only area we haven't seen growth in has been Twitch, but we haven't been putting as much time and effort in that at the moment, which we'll talk about in a minute. But sort of across social media and YouTube, February has been our best month so far, which has been really, really rewarding.
Yep. And for the podcast in particular.
Yeah, definitely.
So huge thanks to everyone that's followed us and followed our journey. Really happy to be going along.
Yeah, it's been good. So, speaking of the podcast, if you do have any questions, any topics that you would like us to cover, any points you want us to go over, anything like that at all, get in touch, let us know. You can email us at creativequestcontact@gmail.com, or you can drop a comment on YouTube if you're watching there. And if you're wanting to start your own creative quest and pursue an interest but don't know where to start or have something stopping you, we'd love to hear from you. Very, very nice. Or just what's your favourite part of the show?
Yeah. The feedback would be really helpful.
Yeah,
We'd love to know which bits you like, what you find less interesting, that sort of thing.
So at the moment, each episode kind of varies quite a bit on what we cover, simply because what we're doing tends to vary just week by week so much. But if there is something in particular that you would like us to talk more about or are interested in, anything like that really, do let us know. It'd be good to structure a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Include
for sure.
more of that, more of the goods.
Exactly.
And you may have noticed that we missed last episode as well, and that's because I have been very unwell again. I'm always more poorly over winter, but this start to the year has been particularly unfortunate health-wise, and I think that's something we always knew would be a problem, whether it be like not just podcast-wise, just in general, being creative for work and streaming, everything that goes with it, that sometimes my health would get in the way of that, and this has just been an unfortunate few months in a row. But I'm getting there, and I think what's timed badly has been that we've had bad burnout at the same time as illness, and the combination of the two has just really wiped. I mean, you haven't been unwell, but you have had burnout, and then I've been unwell and
I feel like we
had
hit the
burnout
wall at the same time, didn't we?
Definitely. So like normally, like when one of us is struggling a bit, we can sort of hype the other one up and just kind of be like, yeah, sure, like help each other out. But we both kind of got to the same slump at the same time, and so we've just taken a bit of time to sit back a bit. We've been doing lots of other things, just sort of redirecting our time is what I'd probably it's probably the good way to put it. But you've had a week off work, which has been lovely, which has allowed you to sort of gather your thoughts and rest a little bit, and I'm also back on the mend now, so hopefully things will begin to improve.
Fingers crossed. I think we're getting there. It's not all been bad though. We have still been quite productive in littler ways than normal, but it's getting there. It's getting there. So, what have we been up to?
So, whilst taking a step back from sort of direct streaming a little bit, we have been focusing instead on consistent content creation across social media and YouTube. So this is looking at long form content and short form content. And if you don't know those phrases, short term is literally, all the little reels and quick videos, little memes and stuff you see online. And long form are your big episodes, your playlists, your series, that sort of stuff. That's just the technical terms for it. So in the last episode, we went a little bit over the stats for both of those types of content, and we won't go over the figures again, but just to kind of briefly talk about the results, we have found that consistently, it doesn't matter what type of content we're doing, sort of gaming wise, is that it doesn't matter that the captions are the same, the hashtags are the same, the video is the same, the audio is the same. Like literally, the video is the exact copy. It will perform dramatically different across platforms. This is a little bit frustrating and interesting because technically each platform is meant to have different types of content which do better. If you went to a marketer in any other situation, they would tell you that one platform was better for one thing and another was better for that, which is still true. It's just that the type of content that we make is kind of a middle ground for all of them. Some videos are doing better on one place than the other, or they're improving at different times. Sometimes they're not moving at all, and then a week later suddenly they've had loads of views and we've not posted it anywhere else. We have that initial sort of pushing out phase, and then we just leave it to do its own thing, and randomly when we haven't touched it, it will do well, and we are unable yet to track what that is. So I guess the kind of takeaway I could say from that is that if your videos aren't performing well at times, don't feel discouraged by it, because it could literally just be that it's just a day where it's not going to do well and there's nothing more to it. At least that's what we're finding more and more. I know that I work in marketing as my current day job, and sometimes if we have a really sunny weekend, we don't get any leads and sales come through because people aren't on their phones. They're not online, they're not making purchases because they're outside in the sun, and it's nothing to do with the marketing that's gone out. It's simply the weather is better and people have been stuck inside and are taking the opportunity. So there's lots of little external things like that to consider as well that you just don't have any control over. It's been interesting, I guess, but also a little bit frustrating because it's kind of hard to know how to move forward from that at this moment in time. We're trying things, but at the moment consistency is definitely helping, but other than that,
I feel like it's on an upward slope for the most part now.
It is rare that we have a video that underperforms, which we will talk about in a second, I think. So genuinely, they are either performing consistently or slightly better than the one before, but we're not having big jumps. But I guess, it's not common for that to happen either. So, there's nothing kind of worrying happening with that.
It's getting there. Yeah. It's a tricky one. It's just a minefield. It's unpredictable, but it's very addictive watching the results. I'll say that much. As soon as you launch one for the next few hours, you're like, oh, how many's gone up by now? Keep checking. And it's always surprising. One of them will just take off far more than the other. Yeah. And it's just bizarre.
Yeah, I gotta say our that first video we talked about, I'd say a month and a half ago now, the Final Fantasy 14 video in London, that, I think the last time we spoke about it, had about 7,000 views, which would have, even by that amount, been our best yet. It's now on 13.6 thousand, so it goes up by about 100 a week. I know it's 100 every 5 days.
It's wild how well that
so whenever I refresh our TikTok page, it's still always the best. It's always climbing, always updating. People are constantly saving it. I checked today, it had 245 saves. The last time I checked that, when we'd put it out, it was 100 and something. So I mean, that's the only takeaway that I would add to that. It is that TikTok seems to have a far better lifespan on videos, which has always been the case for TikTok, is that it's a very different type of algorithm to the other platforms. It is changing a little bit. I'm sure if you use TikTok, you'll notice that they're pushing the shop feature and ads far more. But that was inevitable. We all knew that it was going to happen. But even then, it still has a much longer life than the other big platforms out there. So, you know, good to keep in mind that
Definitely.
if it does do well, it has a chance to do well for longer.
Yeah, it's
if
really
it is
helpful.
on TikTok.
It's horrible when you've got like 2 days and then it's like, that's it. No one's ever
That's
going to
it
see it
now.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Which means then you've got to be producing that new video every 2 days to stay kind of in the feed.
Definitely.
Which is hard, you know.
That's it. It's a
we're
lot of work.
currently doing 2 videos a week, I'd say, on average.
I think we're doing at the moment 2 shorts and 1 long one.
I meant on just socials.
Oh, on socials, yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's a
and
good
that's
balance.
between 2 people, and it's still... But we both work full-time, and I work full-time and part-time.
Yeah, it's a
And
lot.
then you're editing all the long videos. So that's basically a part-time job as well, at this rate, really. So, yeah, it is hard.
Yeah.
I think that's been a part of the burnout, was that just juggling too many things at once.
Yeah.
Which, you know, we always knew would be a problem because we have to go through the stage where we're both still working, like contract working, and obviously making the steps to getting out of that.
That's
you can't
it,
just,
exactly.
Well, we could just jump, but it would be risky.
Very dangerous.
Like, we could do it.
Very
but,
dangerous.
So, yeah, tricky one.
So yeah, in the last episode, I mentioned that having 60-second teasers wasn't necessarily working out as well as I'd hoped, as they're too long for the rapid-fire environment of short-form content, as we were saying before. So I'd made a decision to try and make shorter videos instead of long ones. So we're about at the point now where my first batch of teaser trailers is about running out, and I've started moving on to new ones, so I've started to enact those changes. So now instead of one like 60 second video a week, I'm doing 2 shorter ones, because there's so much content there to make good little clips out of that. I don't want to just do one if I've got the extra footage there, and more videos seems to be helping quite a lot so far. So now we've got like 2 30-ish second videos instead, and I would ideally like to try and get them even shorter if possible, but again, it depends on which video you're working with. Sometimes you just can't get a short enough clip while still keeping the context and the impact.
Context is a big part of it,
Exactly.
for sure.
If you don't have the build-up that makes the joke make sense, then there's no point in having the joke a lot of the time. So you've just got to work with what you've got. We'll have some clips in future episodes that are more, you know, weighted towards nice, short, quick ones. But for now, 30 seconds is doing pretty good. I've noticed that a lot of the retention is up. So obviously as the length of a video goes on, people will varying lose interest along the way, and it's how long can you hold their attention for. So I'm trying to get that up a little bit further, because if they're dropping off in the first 3 seconds, it might count as a view, but it's not really a view, is it? Because they haven't had any engagement with it whatsoever. So I'm noticing that engagement's starting to go up a bit more, which is nice. We're keeping attention for longer. And by having the 2 videos a week, we're improving the amount of views we're getting up right anyway, because instead of just getting 400 for one of them, you're getting 400 for 2 of them, because we're staying quite consistent now. So our views are going up and up quite rapidly now, which is good. It is good. So I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, it's really hard with having the consistency on it, especially when a few of them don't perform well. So like I mentioned a minute ago, is that we had 1 or 2 in a row that performed dramatically, not less good, that's not the word, what is it?
Worse.
No, it's not just, because they weren't worse like across the board, they just weren't, they didn't have the initial oomph that some of the other ones had. And that was a bit disheartening, because obviously we put the same amount of like time and effort, and, you know, whilst we're already really tired and we're staying up late a lot to like get these things done, stay consistent, when a few of them do badly, it's like, oh no, like what is it? Are we not funny enough? Like, you know, were we really tired that day? You know, there's so many like elements of it that you can think about. It's quite hard not to get too sort of self-conscious over it. So you've kind of got to stay in a positive mindset over that. But the videos overall are becoming more successful, and I think there was just like a little blip for whatever reason. I mean, I don't know.
It's odd. It was just 3 in a row that just really didn't even launch. It was like they just didn't.
That's
even
the thing.
hit.
So it's normally like you get like a little buzz of activity, and then it goes quiet, and then you'll get a few here and there. It just didn't even start with that, and yet the format was the same as ones that had done well. The text, the
launched at the same time.
The time of day, the day itself, it was kind of replicated. It was confusing why that didn't do well. I mean, we kind of were disheartened by it, but it is really important with social media to know that just sometimes things don't do well, and it's entirely the algorithm, and it's nothing to do with your quality of things. I mean, obviously sometimes that can be the case, but I find that 9 times out of 10 you can make something brilliant, you can spend hours on hours doing it and it perform terribly. Equally, you can make a 10-second video that has no quality and effort in it and do really well. So, it's just it's hard not to get disheartened, but you do have to stay just positive mindset.
Just stick with it. It will grow over time. Just stick with it.
It's the consistency. Because having just a few bad ones in a row, if you have a few good ones in a row, it kind of levels out over time.
Balances out in the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. And the thing with this is, it's never going to be an overnight success. We knew that when we started, so we're not expecting anything to just, snowball overnight or anything like that. So don't be put off by slow progress or occasional dips in results. If you have a keen interest in what you're doing, then stick with it. The only people guaranteed to fail are the ones who give up when it's not looking good. And the only ones who succeed are the ones who keep pushing through regardless of the rough spots. It will take time and perseverance, but we can get there if we keep trying. Just looking for ways to improve. So look into, are your clips too long, like we found ours were? As soon as we changed that, we started to get better results. Do they start with slow, boring passages that take too long to get to the good bit? Yep, that's easily done. I've looked into that as well. I think some of ours can suffer from that problem. But again, it comes down to context as well. Sometimes you might need that bit, so it's a hard balance with that. But just look to see where you can make the changes where you can. Are your colours eye-catching enough? Is your audio clear enough? Are you posting at the right times of day? We're trying to post more at the weekend at the moment, while more people are at home and have more time to kill, and that seems to make a difference. We had one on a Saturday last week, and it flew off way quicker than some of the others. Really big difference. And we normally post the Mario videos at 12 on a Monday, but we just pulled that day out of nowhere, to be honest, so we'll probably change that to have it somewhere a bit more sensible, because who isn't at work on a Monday afternoon, so we'll probably change that in line with what we've been looking at. So just look at all these things and see where you can make the improvements, because as long as you're consciously trying to make improvements, it will get better over time. You just got to stick with it. Keep it going.
I think that's something to add to that, is that when you start, and it applies very much to content creation, is knowing who your audience is. And you won't have just one audience. You'll have multiple different types of audiences. So, for example, a lot of our Twitch audience is based in the UK, or just kind of near UK, Europe area, this kind of end of it. And so it's always similar time zones, which isn't a bad thing at all. It's great. It means that when we're streaming in an evening, it's an evening for them, and we get more time with them then. But equally, a lot of our audience for social media can sometimes be America-based, which obviously is an entirely different time zone to us. And so when trying to optimize when you post content, you've got to think about who do you want to see it. Obviously, we have no bias on where you live and whether you watch our stuff. Obviously, it's great if you can watch us live, but if not, we're doing stuff on YouTube and that sort of thing now. But it's worth considering these things. What is your optimal time? Well, that's going to be based on who you want to see it. There is never going to be an optimal time that fits everyone. We very easily could do an optimal time for kind of UK Europe time, and then an optimal for American time, so that we have a video for each, because you can schedule content, so we could have one for sort of either end. That's just something that we could trial. And also, if you're questioning why your videos aren't doing well or how you can just improve them, we all doom scroll. Next time you do doom scrolling, just look at what's getting your attention and go, why did that grab my attention? Why did I watch this 5-minute rant on some drama that happened in a place I've never heard of before? What is this product that I had no interest in and now I need to buy immediately? Like, why? What was the selling point? What was it, the type of person advertising it? Was it the lighting, the colors, was the audio good? Look at all these different things. The lead-in time to the point, were you better suited to that sort of build-uppy clickbaity stuff, or was it better when you just instantly knew what the video was going to be like? And just kind of, be aware of these different styles and then try them out, because you won't just by default know which is going to be the best thing. You do just have to try it. Definitely. And, that goes for whether you're doing streaming like we are at the moment, whether you're doing photography and you're trying to reach a new audience base, whether you're a restaurant and trying to advertise your new menu somewhere, regardless, if you're making content, you're not going to know straight away what's going to be best, and you do just have to trial and error it, which is time consuming but long term is beneficial. So don't be disheartened when it's not doing well. Just kind of take a step back and look at the other options you have and what other people are doing as well, because it's not copying. You do just have to learn from other people and what's doing well. Who are your favorite creators? Who are your favorite YouTubers? Social media people, whatever, influencers, whatever it may be. And just
learn from them.
Take notes. Yeah, sort of treat it like a project and like a little scrapbook, and just go through and highlight your favorite bits about them, whether it's their personality or the look of their content, and then merge those elements you like together, really. And then that forms your own kind of unique style,
exactly.
I guess.
Take what works. Adapt it to what you're doing. Because if it's grabbed your attention enough, then something's worked.
Exactly, yeah. That's because then it has worked because you've seen it. So definitely.
Exactly.
Kind of go from that point of view. I think it's very helpful.
Definitely. And we have one last point for what have we been up to, and this is a fun one. If you want to take this one away.
We've been playing a lot of Helldivers.
A lot of
Helldivers in our burnout mess, and this is the thing that I was almost forgot to mention it. One of the reasons we wanted to do this podcast was because there's a lot of podcasts out there that are similar to this, but are very sugar-coated in the journey and don't show the moments where things are kind of crap and burnouty, and it's like it doesn't exist, or it's really early on and they just did this magic, they drank this special tea and they never felt burnout ever again. It's not real, and so this episode may be a little bit more than we usually are, but we did miss last time, but we wanted to make sure we did this time just to kind of check in and show everyone that we are still here, we're still going, we're still fine, but we are kind of chugging through the mud. And one of the ways that we dealt with chugging through the mud was by playing far too much Helldivers 2, because it was the only thing our brain could process, and it was very, very quick, easy, happy hormone.
For sure.
Easy win.
It caught us far quicker than we thought it would.
Looter shooter, good times, you know? And it was, we've been playing...
Rude.
Hello? We've been playing a lot of that. Have you been having a good time?
Oh, I've been loving every second. If you haven't played it yet, just go get it. Just go play it.
I've been trying to get everyone I know to get it.
Yeah, loads of people have so far. It's catching on.
Yeah. Don't feel bad if you have to take a step back and just do something totally different that's unproductive, because we are not robots and machines, and we all need a break sometime.
Absolutely.
So if that new game comes out and you want to go play it and not do something productive that evening, it's better to do that than just put it off. I know sometimes we'll plan to have a productive day and we'll play games before we do the productive aspect, so that we aren't thinking about wanting to go play games, because otherwise we're just sort of irritable, almost
distracted.
because we'll have to do something mundane and then it'll be but I just want to go play games. But if we do that first,
get it out
of our system, and then we can sit down and be productive.
Yep.
You gotta allow for that fun time. If you don't do any of it, then
exactly. You've got to enjoy yourself as well.
Exactly.
Make it all worthwhile. Definitely.
Speaking of games.
So, what are we doing next? So, we've finally managed to set up our co-op Minecraft streams, and this has been so hard. I cannot express to you how hard this has been, and I could tell you the entire story for why it's been so hard, but you wouldn't even believe it. It's ridiculous. We've bought so many adapters and extra copies of the game and all sorts just to make this work, because we don't want to play it on the consoles. We want to play it on the PC for the mods and stuff. So we ruled out, split screen co-op on the PS5 straight away. We were like, we're going to do it on the PC. So we got special software to get it running split screen on the PC. And the top game worked, but the bottom one didn't. It was impossible to make them both run smoothly. So that was out the window. And that alone took hours of research and sorting to make it all work. So I wiped all of that. Then we got it running on the MacBook instead and streamed that to the PC. And then that wouldn't work easily either. We had to spend like another 3 hours troubleshooting that one. But now it's done and everything's fine.
I've been talking about you having burnout. I feel like I may have contributed somewhat to the end result.
Can we play Minecraft?
Baby, can we play Minecraft? I want to play Minecraft.
You know what? I never thought I'd get to the point where setting up split screen Minecraft for a stream would be the greatest technical achievement I've ever done. But I think it just might be, because that was harder than all the audio and video editing and photography stuff I've ever solved. It was ridiculous. I don't know how kids play the bloody game. Ridiculously really difficult that was. But it's done now. Everything's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Rocking back and forth in your
It's genuinely
chair.
Traumatic. So if we go to stream it later and it doesn't work, I'm going to be sad.
Yeah, we're going to do a test stream this evening.
Yep.
And hope it all
Better
goes
work.
fine. So when this releases and you can't find a Minecraft stream anywhere, you'll know that it didn't go fine. If you can find it, well done. It's all okay.
Exactly. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll do a little test, make sure it's all fine, and then kind of see how that goes.
Go from there. That's it.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be totally fine.
Exactly. So the game plan is for Minecraft to be our next big video series after the Super Mario stuff, which will be running for a while yet. Episode 7 is scheduled for Monday. That's ready to go. And all the other footage is lined up in the project window, ready for editing. It's looking like it's going to be about 20 to 25 episodes all in all. So it's a pretty big challenge. It's a big commitment, honestly. But it's been worth it for many reasons. So it's a huge learning experience, first and foremost. I've learned so much from doing it. I've developed loads of skills. I've learned loads of new techniques. I've improved my workflow week after week. Every time I've done it, I've learned something new about Premiere Pro and editing in general, and it's so worth doing. It's not a flawless experience because obviously, like we've mentioned before, our stream format has changed so many times throughout. So it progresses like episode to episode.
Yeah.
And you can see where the improvements have come from. So it's really good to look back and look at it all. So I'm really happy with how far it's come along. So that's all good. I'm happy with that.
And that's in quite a small space as well.
Yeah,
it's like we're constantly learning new things, both setup and editing wise.
Yeah.
So each one just gets a little bit better, which is nice.
Definitely. So I'm constantly picking up new tips and tricks to make things faster, some of which I'll talk about in future episodes, and hopefully I'll make some videos about that as well. I think that could be quite helpful. It's also good to build a back catalogue of content. So we're still really small on YouTube. Like we said before, we've only recently started pushing it.
Yeah.
We don't have many subscribers at all, and we've got a long way to go. So at the moment, very few people watch these videos that I put so much time into editing. And that's sad, yes. But like we've also just said, that content's going to be there for a long time. And as we grow and develop our audience and our channel, a lot of our new viewers probably will go back and look at where we started and find these things and like kind of ride along with us. We've done that with a few of our creators in the past, haven't we? We've gone back to see all of their older stuff.
Yeah.
So if we do well, then that video.
It's putting the groundwork in, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that because we could easily we could easily have filmed all this content, edited all this content, and gone, no, it's not up to our standard. Like we could do better, and or like the last episode is better, so we'll delete like everything before then. But that's kind of a never-ending cycle then, because we will hopefully always be improving and doing better for whatever reason. And so it's a good starting point and learning curve. I still think, like, even the ones that you're less happy with, in quotes, are really, really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah, still coming out fine.
So yeah, you know, I would be proud.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, baby.
Thank you,
Proud of
baby.
you.
I'm really proud of both of us.
You done real good.
Done real good.
So yeah, it's, you know, it's the groundwork for future
Exactly.
things.
You've got to build a foundation, because you're never going to get to the point where you have 10,000 subscribers and really high quality videos unless you've made ones that aren't so big and aren't so good. You have to start from somewhere. So, you know, I'm fine with how it is at the moment, and it's building steadily. We are doing well with it. So I'm happy with that. It also shows that we're consistent, and we have that new video every week, which I'm determined to keep on top of. So as long as you're doing that, you're building steadily, and people can trust that you are going to be there next week, and you are still going. It's not like, oh, that person hasn't posted for 3 months. No point following them, you know? So keeping consistent and keeping in people's minds, that's the way to go, I think. So we will keep to that as I edit the next 15 episodes plus. The other question there is going to be, do we wait like 3 or 4 months to post the Minecraft stuff? Because that's a long time until the Mario stuff will be finished if we're going once a week. So that's another question to look into. Would we have time to edit and post 2 things a week? Ooh, I don't know, that's a big ask on the time frame we have available at the moment. But it also seems far too long to wait
and the
otherwise.
future commitments we have coming up. So currently we have the Minecraft series that we want to start soon. We don't want to not film that for YouTube, because it's a really good type of game to film for a series, and we have to have something to stream. So it kind of makes sense to do a stream of Minecraft and then edit that footage. Equally, we've got some other games to either finish or edit. So we've got Bish Bash Bots, Haunty, and It Takes Two, which we need to film the end of. But we've recorded the rest of it. That actually was a long time ago, so that might need to be redone.
Yeah.
But, you know, we've got lots of other sort of things in the background as well. But, as you say, waiting 3 to 4 months is a long time. So we then have to put both of them out at the same time. I mean, to be fair, when you sit down and have a whole day to edit, you can get like a huge chunk done. So
that's
it's not like
it's doable.
It's not like you're making those videos every week. You're sitting down for a big chunk, editing them all in one go, and then doing the more maintenance of like scheduling and doing the shorts and stuff. But it is still a big commitment, and we're about to hopefully about to be moving house, if it goes on any longer. So I think that will be kind of end of April time.
Yeah.
So that means we have like a month to get everything else sorted ready. I mean, technically you could edit all of the Mario stuff before then, and then you'd only have one to do.
Exactly.
But you know, it's a time thing. Like that's very well. Like, you know, it's good to say that. But I've just been really poorly for ages and had burnout. You've had burnout. We can't predict like all the other things that may happen in that time frame. So yeah, we're undecided on the method that we're gonna do.
But it will happen.
Yeah.
Or
we could tandem Minecraft and Mario. One week, one the other.
We've got options.
There's lots of options.
We'll have a think about it.
Yeah.
The other hard thing at the moment is that to build our Twitch audience, we decided to put more time into social media, which we've been doing. So we've worked on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, using all of these to push content and promote the Twitch account. But that's the thing. That so far hasn't resulted in a positive gain for Twitch. We haven't had a boost in followers.
No.
But at the same time, because we've been doing all that, we've had less time to actually stream, so our numbers haven't been boosted by actually streaming regularly either. So as far as Twitch is concerned, we haven't had any positive benefits so far, which is the hard part. There's just not enough time to grow them all. It's hard. So as we mentioned earlier, we both work full-time jobs and have part-time jobs on the side, and far too many hobbies and creative interests to keep on top of. And that's the thing. We don't have the time to stream, capture footage, edit footage, create thumbnails, post and promote that footage, and then go on to the next one. Sometimes the results we're seeing are disappointing, but then I think of how much we've managed to do with the limited time we have had available, and I'm hugely proud of what we've done. If we had more free time, like we mentioned earlier, we'd be able to do so much more, but we're not in the position to do that yet. So we got to keep grinding a little bit longer. And that's fine. I think we're at peace with that for now, aren't we?
I mean, we always knew this would be the case. And it was one of the reasons we wanted to do this podcast. It's a very realistic, I would say, transition between the two.
Definitely.
We aren't in a position where we can just quit our jobs tomorrow and jump and do this. And I don't think many people are in that position. And a lot of people do content or creative jobs as a hobby for years until they can even do it part-time, let alone full-time.
Yeah.
So we always knew this would be the case. We always knew it would be difficult. But we're not giving up yet.
No.
Is the key for that.
Definitely.
It's hard, but it's not off-putting.
No, exactly. You've got to keep an eye on all the little successes you have along the way, I think. Like, last month was our most successful month so far. So, it's growing. It's growing. It is getting there. Like, all the hard work is gradually building up, which is nice. It's a good feeling. You've got to accept the wins where you can.
Yeah.
For sure. So, yep, I'm proud. You proud?
Yeah. I'm very tired.
Very tired.
I'm very tired.
Yeah, we're going to go have a nap after this.
I am proud, and I need to sometimes sit back and sort of be a bit more humble over it, and instead of being like, why have we done this late, why haven't we done that yet? But actually, no, we've achieved a lot, we've done really well, and we both work insane hours in insane high-pressure jobs, and we still turn up every week and continue to chase things that make us happier.
Exactly.
So,
that's what it's all about.
That's the good thing.
Exactly.
We're getting there.
It's all worth it. It's all worth it. So as we start to wrap this one up, what was the highlight of your month? I'd say Fortnite, but we've missed one, so.
Helldivers.
Yes. Good shout.
I can't get it out of my brain. We're meant to be playing Minecraft in a minute, and I'm like,
but Helldivers.
I could play Helldivers. It's just so much fun. And I like that you can pick it up and play it for 10 minutes or play for 10 hours.
Oh god, yeah.
It's just so much fun. A video on Helldivers has actually gone onto our social media today, which is just a compilation of us dying again and again and again.
So many deaths.
So yeah, if you like Helldivers or want to see what the game is like, do go look at that. I know that's a bit of self-promo, but genuinely, I've sent it to all my friends and family and gone, look at this.
It's so funny.
It's hilarious.
It's so funny.
We've had so much fun. And it's nice that we can play it together as well.
Yeah, it's a really good co-op game. Haven't seen a co-op game this good for quite a while. We've got loads of friends and family involved. It's so good.
Yeah.
You can just play with anyone. Yeah. It's brilliant.
All different types of gaming circles are jumping on it, which
Such
is nice.
Such a good game.
We can all kind of pull together and have fun.
Lovely surprise, isn't it?
Yeah. What was your highlight?
Obvious it's been having a week off work. I can't remember the last time I had a week off work, so it's been really nice. It hasn't exactly been restful, but it's still been infinitely better than being at work.
Put you to work.
That's all that matters. We've got a lot done. We've caught up on a lot of jobs around the house, lots of packing things and preparing for the big house move, that sort of stuff. So it's the boring practical stuff.
Trying to get ahead of it a little bit.
Exactly. It's boring, but it's got to be done. Lots of workflow improvements and some good edit days, so that's nice. All caught up on a lot of things. So it's been productive. Thankfully, after next week, I do have another week off work. Blessed. So I'm really keen for that one. Hopefully that'll have a little bit more rest time, seeing as we worked so hard this week.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll be better then as well, so that I can help you more with everything as well. I do have to give big credit to you there, because you've been carrying a lot of the workload, not only for the creative stuff that we do, but just sort of existence.
Oh, you.
I'm like, I don't know what to eat. You need to just pick a food and just put it in front of me and I'll eat it. I've not been able to function at all. But you've kept me hydrated. You bought me food and snacks.
You make you sound like a plant.
I am. I'm green like a plant. And I'm covered in mushrooms today.
You are a plant.
I wish I could be a plant.
If only.
But yeah, so thank you very much. So hopefully next time you have a week off, I'll be feeling better.
Yep.
And I can help you more.
And hopefully the sun will come out too.
Yeah.
Because I really want to catch up on some photography bits and get back out with the camera.
Mid-March and it looks like mid-December.
I feel like I still haven't had a single good day to just go out and take some new photos. like without risk of rain.
No,
It's
I definitely
horrible.
need some sunshine.
Yeah, we'll go and get some nice sunny
I'm like
walks.
Wally, I need to charge. Just stay there for a little bit, like a little cat in the sun, just
Oh,
re-energize.
brilliant. So, again, if you have any questions about what we're doing, if you have any topics you'd like us to cover in the next episode, please message us at creativequestcontact@gmail.com, or just comment on the YouTube page if you're watching on there. We do read all the comments, as well as if you just have any feedback for us on how to improve the show. We would love to hear from you. That would be really helpful moving forward, because then we can make it tailored to what you guys want to hear as well as just being our lovely rambling diary of what we've done this time.
Of chaos.
Oh, yeah. But no, 10 episodes in the bag now. That's good. I feel really good about that. I feel like we've already come a long way. And it'll be nice to think that in, let's say, 9 months from now, when we're probably about a year at that point, to my guess, I haven't quite worked that out, you could watch back and hopefully see the difference we've made in that time. This would be like a lovely journal of everything. It's really cool. Happy with that.
Keen.
Me too.
We're making good progress. This week has been hard. This month has been hard. The start of the year has been hard, but we are making progress.
Yep.
And positive steps forward to the creative quest.
Definitely. So thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.